There are a good number of HTML5 tags that are devoted to enhancing the structure of a web page. In this exercise, we will show you how to convert a page to use HTML5 semantic-based markup. If you want to follow along, please start by opening the file tpa.html, which can be found in the Lesson27 folder. Semantics is the study of meaning, particularly as it relates to words and text. When applied to HTML, semantics essentially means using the right tag for the right content. So let's see how we can add meaning to this web page. If we look at the markup that's currently being used to structure this document, you can see that we're making extensive use of div tags. Whilst using div tags in this manner is perfectly acceptable, div tags do not have any meaning. To begin then, we will replace the existing header div with the HTML5 header tag. The header tag is designed to contain introductory and navigational elements, such as the logo on this page. Our next step is to insert the closing header tag. As you can see, to keep this nice and simple, we have included markers where each of the start and end HTML5 semantic tags should be added. In this instance, the end header tag needs to replace the existing markup located just before the content wrapper div. The next area we're going to apply semantic markup to is the navigation area. To begin, we'll add the start nav tag. The aim of the nav tag is to contain the major navigation on a website page and is typically enclosed in the header tag. It's also worth mentioning that one of the major benefits of using the nav tag over a generic div tag is that it is easier to find for assistive technology like screen readers. Now, we'll quickly replace the existing closing div tag with the new closing nav tag. Another of the HTML5 semantic tags is the section tag. The section tag, as its name implies, is used to separate major portions of a web page, such as an introduction, current news, or special announcements. Let's add the start and end section tags now. In this web page, we've also combined both H1 and H2 headings as a tagline. Wouldn't it be great if we could treat the entire tagline as though it were a single hierarchical level? Well, thanks to the HTML5 hgroup tag, we can. We'll place the cursor just after the start section tag, add a space, and then type the following. Next, we'll place the cursor after the closing H2 tag and then close the hgroup element. Now, let's turn our attention to the side content. The intention here is to use this container as a sidebar. In HTML5, rather than using a div container, we can replace this with a tag called aside. Let's replace the start and end div tags for the sidebar now using the aside tag. As well as using this element as a sidebar, other elements that are outside of the main content of the page, such as pull quotes, would also be appropriate choices for the aside tag. In addition, the side tag could also be used to contain secondary navigation lists and advertisements. The final semantic HTML5 tag we will use for this web page is the footer. Let's do that now. As we have done here, the footer tag is typically placed at the end of your content. Material for this tag include related links, copyright information, and contact info. Having replaced all of the appropriate divs with semantic markup, we have one final task to perform. At present, if we were to load this page in a browser that doesn't support the HTML5 semantic markup, we would straight away run into presentation issues, as browsers that don't recognize these semantic elements would just ignore them and would render the content inside the tags without any breaks. To stop this from happening, we can create a simple CSS rule. Here at the top of the page and just after the Start Style tag, we'll add the following. This rule makes sure that all the HTML5 semantic tags act like other block level elements, such as p and the div tags. Now, if we save the file and switch to the web browser, you can see the TPA page restructured with HTML5 markup.